Alright, here we have a very unique motorcycle. This is actually a prototype or dealer's demonstrator model of a 1976 Suzuki GS750. That would mean that this cycle was actually produced as an intention of Suzuki demonstrating what they were going to be producing the following year. 1977 was the first year of the GS750, so this would be a 0 year or pre-production demonstration model of that first bike. It had been owned by a local dealer for some time who has passed away and cleared it out from their estate. Kind of a sad story, but it's certainly a beautiful original bike here. Some of the features that distinguish it from the production cycles are that it has a single disc at the front. It has not been removed. Originally it's like this, but the production bikes have a separate disc here and a separate caliper, which was what they intended on doing. But this bike was produced this way just as a demonstration for dealers to use. Another distinguishing factor is that the choke mechanism needs a wrench or pliers, as no mechanism was installed on these demonstrator bikes. This was simply because the demonstrators would get the bike running, warmed up for the day with a special wrench on the choke, and then would proceed to ride it and allow others to ride it and test it out and things of this nature. So it wasn't a completed bike, but cosmetically it is every bit of a GS750. It has the original motor in it. It actually had been ridden quite a bit by the dealer that owned it. It has 28,400 miles on the original motor, and it's just a beautiful machine. It also features the original stock exhaust and airbox systems. It's got the disc brake at the rear. Original tank and side covers are present. This bike is definitely not what was finally produced in '77 by Suzuki, but every bit the collector and classic bike for someone who's interested as a collector or perhaps a museum bike. It's certainly unique and interesting in that way. But it runs, it rides, it shifts through all of the gears. All of these lights are working just fine. Let me see if I can get a shot down in here of this. Engine number is, focus here. Okay, the GS750 10435. Now the engines started at 10001. So this would be the 434th bike off of the line. This one was produced in July of '76, and they made them through October, I believe. And then right away in spring of '77, they were able to demonstrate them and show them off to dealers so they could whet their appetites, as it were, for the coming model year. Let's go ahead and fire it up and you can hear how it sounds. Low beam, high beam. There it is. Just an excellent classic machine here. It's certainly a piece of history, being a dealer's prototype of what was yet to come. And the GS750 certainly was a historical bike for Suzuki as a brand. At the time, they had only been producing two-stroke bikes, and by producing this bike, it was basically a last-ditch effort of them trying to compete with Honda. So this 750 actually was the first Suzuki four-stroke bike to be produced in mass as it was. And it's actually the grandfather of the GSX-R series, which is, of course, a very famous sport bike. So this model saved Suzuki. Don't hesitate to ask any questions or provide a few comments. Thanks.